It's Good Friday. It's a time when we contemplate the cross and what that means for each one of us. And I want you to know that Good Friday always leaves me a little sad, a little brokenhearted. I spend a lot of time thinking on Good Friday. I think about Jesus' sacrifice and the fact that it was part of a plan right from the very beginning of time for God to bring each one of us into reconciliation, and each one of us and all of creation into reconciliation with Him. And it was part of His great demonstration of love for His creation. I think of the people who were there the very first Good Friday. I think of Peter and how he denied Jesus. And I think of times when I have denied Jesus. And I think of John and the women who followed Jesus at the foot of the cross. And their hearts, the brokenness, their brokenheartedness, the grief, the anger, the wonder. I think especially of Mary, Jesus' mother, and how she must have felt looking at her son nailed to a cross like a common criminal. And I think she must have been remembering the words of the angel who said, "Your son will be called the Son of God, and he will save his people from their sins." And I'm sure she must have wondered if it was all a joke, if it wasn't true, if she imagined it. And I think of them all going home to prepare for Passover, and how for the next 24 hours they were in their homes. And what they were thinking. Were they wondering whether they were wrong, whether they were mistaken, whether Jesus was really a madman after all? Were they thinking that the God that they believed in, who they had been told stories about his power and how he rescued his people and all the mighty things that he had done, was he not big enough to take his son down from the cross? Perhaps they were wondering if God had abandoned them completely. And it really was the Romans who had all the power. Can't imagine what that 24 hours must have been like. But I know, if you're anything like me, there are times when you have some of the same questions. When life's not going the way it should. When there's a plague, COVID-19, a pandemic all over the world, and we're isolated into our homes. When people are losing their jobs. When money is scarce. When people are frightened. Do we not wonder if God is not big enough to take care of this? And maybe evil wins after all. I want to share with you a quote from an application called Lectio 365. This was part of my devotions for last week. And they were focusing on Good Friday. And the quote I want to give you is, "As we think about Good Friday, we focus our thoughts upon the image of Christ on the cross, acknowledging its terror, but also allowing thanks to arise in our hearts for this tangible proof that love wins. And in another part of the devotional, it said, the cross is the ultimate and enduring reality of God's love. As we're here with our people, our community people, I'm reminded of that quote, and I'm reminded of Good Friday. And Jesus' sacrifice for us is the ultimate act of love. Love wins. And on this side of the cross, looking back, we know that. But for our people who are here, and the love that you as a congregation are displaying to them through your gifts, through your donations, through even the simple things of washing the towels and face cloths. These absolute demonstrations of Christ's love wins. It's changing their minds, it's changing their hearts, it's changing their reality. And they feel and understand the love that you have for them, that Jesus has for them. And I want to say thank you for showering our community friends with this love, the love of Christ. As you contemplate Christ's love, his sacrifice, his submission to the Father's will, as you contemplate all those things ahead of Resurrection Day, I encourage you to focus on the love. I encourage you to see how Christ's love is poured out in your life today, even as you are isolated at home. And how even through your isolation, you can pour out Christ's love on others. Know that we are praying for you. And know that we are aware that you are praying for us and for our community friends that are here. Sunday's coming. Evil has not won. The cross tells us that love wins. See you Easter morning, Resurrection Day.